And we are live. What's going on, everybody? I'm Adam, and this is Open Late. And today, while it is late in the evening for most people, I'm not really late getting this. I have been lucky enough that I've gotten a bunch of GI Joes on time, and really had to get started on unboxing them because I've gotten. I'm looking next to me. I've got Nunchuk and five more, in my office here, and then I've got the Desert Snake Eyes as well as the Steel Core 2-pack coming. Um, and they should be here, if not by the end of this week, then the beginning of next week. So I'm just gonna have to keep rolling with classified unboxings. Hopefully, it doesn't overwhelm anybody, and I don't do too many GI Joe unboxing videos for for people's tastes. To that point, though, what I will say is I'm gonna do this unboxing live. I will probably try to do another unboxing live very likely again next Wednesday night. But I'm going to record a few and just sort of put them on the channel. And I'll try to do kind of one a day. The reason for that is I don't always have time in the evening to do this. And what I'm planning to do is actually kind of sit down and unbox like 3 or 4 in one sitting. Try a little bit different setting without the chat aspect of it. They're going to be short. I'm thinking they're going to be 10-15 minutes long, just to try something different on the channel and to allow myself to kind of get a little bit caught up with classified. But feel free to let me know what you think of that in the chat or in the comments, or wherever. Reach out and let me know. And when those videos, I'm gonna do it whether people like it or not. But if you like that format, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. I'm still gonna try to do Open Late in this format where it's me hanging out opening toys with friends, because it's always more fun to open toys with friends. But I end up opening a lot of stuff without friends. I guess is the easiest way to say that. And I'm thinking I might as well record it, and I'm gonna try a little bit of editing, so the format will be a little bit different. Like I said, a little bit shorter videos, a little more concise. We'll see how that goes. Just something to try, something new and different. Brick says, I'm a little turned off by his name. I guess it's better than Nunchuk. Yeah, I guess so. There isn't a GI Joe whose name at the time seemed weird to me, but in hindsight, as a 40-year-old man, I guess some of the names are a little bit weird, a little bit hokey. Figuratively speaking is here as well, saying hello to everybody in the chat. Stars hanging out tonight as well. Maybe it's Nunchuk. It is not. That's his actual code name, Nunchuk, which I think is even spelt wrong. Like that's not the way that I sort of would spell Nunchuk. But hey, I mean, I'm not Larry Hama, so. Immortan Jojo is here as well. He says, let's go. And he's also saying we need Nemesis Enforcer. I would love to see the Cobra Law figures. Part of the reason that I'm opening this guy first is because he's a Ninja Force figure. And I like, the weirder the better. I'm not saying I'm going to buy everything, but like Cobra Law, Ninja Force, the Tiger Force stuff and the Python Patrol stuff, you guys probably know that I'm not buying that stuff, but it's not because I don't think it's cool. I think it's great. I love that they're doing all that stuff. The European exclusives, the Argentinian, I guess, with Glenda. I'm here for all of it. Some appeal to me more than others. The Ninja Force stuff, I will get all the Ninja Force figures. If they do them all, I will get them all. So Star says, see what you've done. I'm now officially on the GI Joe bandwagon. Yes, I just ordered and pre-ordered all the Mezco 112 Joes and picked up a handful of Hasbro classified. I am now screwed. Star, I apologize, but at the same time, you're welcome. That Mezco 112 stuff looks amazing. I I'm still on the fence. There's a couple that I would like to pick up. I just don't know that I can fit them in the budget with the other lines that I get and stuff like that. Just I don't know. We'll see. Mortan Jojo though says wait till Mezco does Cobra Commander. That's going to be insane. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm torn. That Mezco stuff looks really really good, but it's sort of like I already have all those characters. Do I need another version? And so this is where I'm really torn, okay? I've said this before, it's well documented. I'm here for every version of Snake Eyes. Now, does that include the Mezco 112 Snake Eyes? That has been an internal struggle that I've had with myself since they announced that figure. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's a topic for another night. Speaking of a topic for another night, Star says my first day walk figs came in today, and gotta say, wow, great figures all the way around. Great sculpt, great articulation, great material, great construction, awesome. Star, I already know that you're reading the comic books, so you're. I mean, right? I mean, we told you they were good. We told you they were good. And Star says, yeah, Duke is on his way. Luke Poulin is here. Looks like we're getting a Night Force Tunnel Rat. I did see that. I did see the Walmart collector. It's the Walmart collector. What do they call it? I can't remember what they call it. The Fall Geek Out. Is that Target? We don't really have that. They just sort of announce it because we're in Canada. Luke, you as well as me. That night, I mean, I'm excited about Tunnel Rat. I don't know that I need a Night Force Tunnel Rat that close to the other Tunnel Rat. So it's a tough one. I mean, I'm really torn. I love Tunnel Rat, and that figure looks great. Wolf Spider and Shadow Tracker that are the other figures in that wave, so to speak, look amazing, and I'm happy to get those. And I'll order those day one. But the Night Force Tunnel Rat, we'll see. Part of it is going to be when I open Tunnel Rat, I'm going to be looking at those parts in terms of fodder. And if I look at Night Force Tunnel Rat and he's great for parts fodder, I'll probably get him anyway, even though I don't necessarily need the figure on the shelf because I will already have the character. But stay tuned. When they release them, you'll know. I'll tell everybody. Save some toys to open on Christmas morning. Well, that's the problem. There's more coming. There's more toys coming. If I stop opening stuff, I just end up with a room full of unopened boxes. Anyway. Star, I love this. Has anyone seen that film G.I. Joe Resolute? It's fantastic. It's what G.I. Joe should have always been. Every G.I. Joe fan, I think at this point has pretty much seen it. No disrespect, but every G.I. Joe fan has seen it. Every G.I. Joe fan loves it and completely agrees with you. Resolute is phenomenal. I wish we could get more Resolute or more like Resolute. And Mortan Jojo says, I actually just did a rewatch of Resolute. So dang good. The great thing about Resolute is like it's I think it's about an hour, a little over an hour. So it's great to just kind of put on. It doesn't take much time to kind of get into Resolute and watch it and just absolutely love what they did with those characters. Love what they did. With the story as well, and just how it's a little bit more mature, it's a little darker, it's a little grimmer, and it's everything that us middle-aged GI Joe collectors could have asked for. Silver K is here. Oh, look at that. Geek the F Out channel is here as well. Star says the names are call signs. I like to think keeps their real identity secret, protects their families. I hope. Yes, and they are call signs. Like they're all, nobody goes by their real name. And I don't remember most of their real names. I remember most of their call signs or their code names. Smiler67, it's all about the ninjas. This guy and then Jinx gonna look great. Yeah, that's good call. Jinx is been a name only reveal, I think, right? Thoughts on tonight's leak? I think I probably answered that after you put this comment in. I'm just catching up on comments. The leaks, I'm here for them. Shadow Tracker, phenomenal, fantastic looking figure. Can't wait to get that one. Wolf Spider, I really, really like. I like that it's an original character. I like that it's a character of Indian descent. My nitpick is that it doesn't have an unmasked head. That being said, it was designed as a troop builder, and I can understand why it doesn't have an unmasked head. Hopefully, the neck ball joint is the side that I'll be able to find an alternate head for it. So there we go. James, good point. Let's do it. I skipped a few comments. I saw yours. Straight to James's. Open. Yes, let's get this thing open. Absolutely. So before I open it, we always look at the package, but I'll try to be quick because I was very long-winded to get to this point. So on the front, we get the 3D sort of render / art. We get the box contents up there. We get this sweet artwork right here. Now, they use the pink, and this pink is like bang on for the Ninja Force figures in the vintage line. I love that. I hope that if they do more Ninja Force figures, that they will continue to use that color just as a call out. I haven't paid close enough attention to the color that they use in the background there. I don't know if they've kind of grouped characters in any way with that or not. But like I said, it would be cool if they did Ninja Force figures and they did it like that. Then we get, again, that art, but just in the blue on the side. Number 80, the QR code that I believe takes you to the page that will show you bigger versions of that. These are too small. I don't like it. I've said that before. Anyways, moving on. The back gives us, the full box contents. Lists the height 6.1 inches or 156 millimeters. So he's right in line with just what everybody else. Everybody seems to be, 6 to 6.2. Just a couple call outs to a couple of the details on the figure there as well. Legalese on the side or on the bottom there. The full art, including a little bit of that pink on the other side. And again, number 80. If you're keeping track or if you're a completist, my sympathy goes out to you. We are getting so many G.I. Joe figures. Anyway, that's the figure. Let's get this open. I pre-cut it and popped it open so that I would speed this process up. We get the Foot Locker, Ralph, Nunchuk, Badducci. The 80 is upside down. If you go from there, again, I'm not going to, the 80, if you go the other way, I guess is the right side up, but it's like the back side. So it's upside down. If it, again, I like the idea of this. I don't think it's executed well. One bag and then the little legalese paper in there. So this is the first figure that I've gotten where they've switched away from the sort of paper ties back to the plastic ties. I think it's like the first step towards them going back to plastic, at least in the classified stuff. I don't like it because now I got to get my scissors out again. I didn't mind the little paper ties because I was getting used to how to untie them quickly. Now I got to use scissors again. Boo. Woe is me, right? What a first world problem to have. I can afford action figures and I can complain about the packaging. Anyway. First impression, I don't know if that's... Is that the way it's supposed to look? Looks like wind blown. I don't know. Yeah, because it's sculpted that way too. Okay. If it's sculpted that way, I can. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Let me just get this guy to stand, and then I'll get the accessories out. We'll go over the accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure itself. He's not going to stand for me. They never do. Come on. Stay. May as well tighten up the shot now and get it over with. And then that way it's good. All right, so admittedly, compared to the last few figures that I've opened, at least, he feels light in the accessory department. I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little bit light. Now, whether it is or whether that's just sort of relative. Sorry about that. Just quickly adjusting a little bit more. Whether it is light or whether it's just sort of relative to the last couple, it's kind of relative, I guess. But you know what you do get is pretty cool. We get the it's a tie, I guess, the tie that keeps now is this going to plug in without heat, I wonder? Oh yeah, it went right in. It's pretty soft, so it makes sense that it would just pop right in there. Yeah, so he's definitely got sort of a wind blown look. Now there is a little bit of deco. You can see it. There's a little bit of like brown to it. So there is some color variation going on there relative to the rest of his hood hat. I don't know. Is it a hood? Is it a hat? Is it some... I don't know I don't really know what to call it, but anyway, it's plugged in there now. Now he's not going to stand up. Now he's going to fall over. Okay, taking a look at the accessories. We get this little dagger. This is the hard part. I don't know how to... Like when they're tiny, tiny, tiny like this. Oh, there we go. And rest it on... So just a tiny little dagger. That's going to look quite small in his hand, but that's okay. His nunchuk. There's a pair of them. And I'm trying to figure out what is on the end. I don't know if it's... Like, it kind of looks like it's supposed to be a tiger or something, but it's so small and the detail is so fine that I'm not really sure. I mean, it could also be a snake. It could be... I mean, it looks like an animal's mouth on the end there, but I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it is. These are nice and soft, which is going to be great as far as like posing them and as far as, you know, getting them to sit in the belt, stuff like that. The only issue that I can kind of foresee is that the part that's supposed to be hard, the part that is supposed to be hard is also quite soft plastic, but it's thicker and a little bit firmer. So when you kind of bend the nunchuck, you can see the chain bends, but the you know, unless I try to get it to bend, the chain is clearly thinner and more pliable, so it bends. So that's good. That's designed well. They look good. A little bit of paint might have been nice, but I can live without it. Then he gets his Wolverine claws, and these are surprisingly straight. You know, if you are a Marvel Legends collector and you get Wolverine, you know that those are like his claws are notoriously crooked in the hand. And these are listed left and right, which is good because I think the way that they're going to be held in the hand, they would look like that sort of trigger hand that we get with all the figures. You're gonna want to line up. So this is the left-handed one, and if that trigger hand is sort of like this, you're gonna want to line it up, because the little grippy part, the handle, is it a handle? Handle? We'll call it the handle. The handle is angled, so the claw pieces are asymmetrical. But yeah, those are really, really cool. Also, um, I can't help but think we could see these with another figure. There's another figure that comes to mind when I see these little claw tool things. And I can't wait. I would love to get a version 2 of Storm Shadow, of course. That is what I'm talking about. His swords have the same thing on the end of the handle. Whether, like I said, whether that's a tiger, whether that, I don't know what it is. And I didn't do enough research to have an answer. The blade is painted. There's also some green, at the end of the blade there. These look really, really good. I'm quite impressed with how these turned out. To me, this is kind of his main weapon, and they've done a really, really good job of making this look better than the other ones, because I think a lot of people are probably going to sort of display it with this, which makes sense. The other things kind of store and sort of plug onto the belt. So let's catch up in the chat here. Where did I leave off? I left off at open, I think. Where is open? There it is. Okay, so next. I'm not going to read all the comments. I'm going to skip a few, but just jump in here. Billionaire says, badass figure. I agree. I think he looks really, really good. Is Chuck part of the Ninja Force you guys mentioned? Gotta say, I'm falling in love with Firefly as a character, not in a weird way. He's so cool. I read where he's a ninja type. The Firefly as a ninja type is a bit of a retcon. That came a lot later. Highly contestable, whether that's accurate, whether that's relevant. But yes, Nunchuk is part of Ninja Force. Ninja Force is about 10, I want to say about 10 characters. You've got Nunchuk, you've got a Night Force version of Scarlet, which I really, really want. You've got a Night Force version of Snake Eyes. There's a there's a whole handful of others. Bushido? Is he in there? Is Bushido Ninja? No, Bushido's not. Or is there a Bushido Ninja Force Bushido that's version 2 of Bushido? It doesn't matter. There's about 10. I would get all of them. There's also, like, in that era, there's sort of Ninja Force adjacent. Like, Zartan is a Dreadnought, but there was sort of a Ninja Force looking one, who's all neon with a mohawk. I would love to get that version of Zartan as well. Is Firefly part of some ninja team? No, not that I am aware of. Yeah, this is a very valid point. Where to go? Who takes nunchucks to a gunfight? Yeah, I mean, they're ninjas, but most of them are pretty proficient with firearms as well. The wrap on the blades is a cool detail. Yeah, I agree. Like the little hit of green there is meant to be like some fabric wrapped around the base of the blade, which is really, really cool. These are really, really cool. The figure itself, I love the deco. I'm all caught up on the chat there, so I'm just going to jump into the figure itself. The deco is great. I love the paint apps of the stripes. There's not as much as I might have hoped for as far as paint on the rest of the figure. All of his web gear, all of his sort of accessories are lacking in paint. Like I said, there's a bit of paint on the headband thing, but that's it. Otherwise, it's all just gray, which is a little bit of a letdown. I mean, it's on point for the figure itself. Like the vintage figure, that's what he looked like. But I don't know. I would have liked to see something here and there. They could have, add a little flourish of color somewhere. But all in all, like I said, the figure itself looks really, really good, and I like it. It's great. It's Nunchuk's not one of my favorite characters, but I do love the ninjas. I do love Ninja Force, and I think this one looks really, really good. Let's get him all kitted out with all of his weapons. I think he can store or carry everything. In order to do that, he does have to store the swords, and he will carry the claws. But everything else will fit on his person, including the nunchucks, which go on the back there. Let's ab crunch that out of the way. How easily are these going to fit in here? Not too bad. I'd say that's pretty easy. It's an awkward shape to fit in there, but once you it kind of pops in, which is nice. It means you're not going to lose them. My only concern is that plastic going to stay pliable and not just snap over time? I had a bit of an issue. Michelangelo's nunchucks don't last if you put them in to his belt loops. But this is much softer, so I think that this is probably going to be fine. But yeah, that looks pretty cool, right? I ask myself. I think that looks pretty cool. I like that he can store all of his gear, all of his weapons. Let me just get him in a little bit more of like a slightly cooler pose than just generic vanilla pose. I'm gonna get the claws in his hands too. I think the claws are really, really cool. Like I said, and they're left right, so you got to make sure that you get them in the right hand. Now, how easy or difficult is that? Oh, it's actually really easy to get them in. That's definitely a bonus. I was worried that they were going to be really awkward to get into his hand, but they're not at all. Try to get him in a little less vanilla pose. And then, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know how well I can pose him in, just. But that looks pretty cool. He's a pretty cool figure. I like him. I'm digging it. He could have been a little bit brighter, for the Ninja Force aspect. He could have been a little bit brighter. I would have been okay with that. But I'm not. I think he looks great. I think he looks really, really good. Now, let's bring in some of his ninja companions, shall we? The very obvious one is going to be Snake Eyes. Now, we don't have a Ninja Force Snake Eyes or any sort of purely ninja version of Snake Eyes yet, but that's, I think, the closest that we have. This is the 00 Snake Eyes, but if you've got the Snake Eyes, that came with the second Snake Eyes with Timber, it's virtually the same figure as this one right here. So you or the mainline version, the 02 Snake Eyes or what have you. We did, of course, already get another Ninja Force character. Now, throw your mind back, way back to figure number 14, I think. This is the Arctic Storm Shadow, but this is 100% the Ninja Force version of Snake Eyes of Storm Shadow. So we already got, another Ninja Force figure. It was really only a matter. Yeah, that's kind of his thing. It was only a matter of time before we got more Ninja Force, so I'm happy that we've gotten Nunchuk. And then we did, of course, get, and he's not Ninja Force, but I'm going to say that he's unofficially affiliated with Ninja Force, the Kamakura figure that we got. Not everybody's favorite figure, but I think it's a pretty cool figure. I like all these figures, so I'm a bit of a mark for this stuff, a bit of a shill. But there is some parts reuse here. He's got the same feet as Kamakura. He's got the same torso as Kamakura, the same upper arms as Kamakura as well. But it's good reuse because it doesn't, they don't immediately look the same. Kamakura feels much more ninja. Nunchuk feels more urban ninja, if that makes any sense at all. I know it doesn't, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm happy with sort of the ninja offering that we've had so far from Classified. And I want more. I want more ninjas. Like I said, I want the Ninja Force Snake Eyes. I want the Ninja Force Scarlet. I want all of them because they're fun. And who brings a set of nunchucks or a knife to a gunfight? Ninja Force does. They're just that proficient with their blades. There you go. There's the answer to that question. There is parts reuse. There's texturing on the pants. There's not much texturing on the torso. There is a little bit, and it's the same as Kamakura there. The weird thing is, and I noticed when I was moving the butterfly joint, there's a lot more texture on the butterfly joint, and that's the same on Kamakura. So he looks good, but is he too similar to Kamakura? I mean, could he have come later in the line, and maybe we could have got a Ninja Force that wasn't too close to Kamakura? What do you think? I think so long as we get more Ninja Force, it won't bother me. He's Arctic Storm. Let's just call him Ninja Force Storm Shadow. Ninja Force Storm Shadow was the first Ninja Force figure technically that we got, but they didn't call him Ninja Force. They're not calling Nunchuk Ninja Force Nunchuk. He's just Nunchuk. I think we could get another version of Snake Eyes that was effectively the Ninja Force version of Snake Eyes. I'd be here for that as well. Ninja Force is a tough one. I think that these are, the tame offerings. If you've never seen Ninja Force, just go to 3djoes.com and just look up Ninja Force. They're all, for the most part, they're all like neon and bright colors. The weapons they used to come with were neon. So I think easing people into Ninja Force by way of, these guys is the way to do it. I want the neon ones, to be honest. So is it too close to Kamakura? I would say no. I think it makes sense, right? Because you're reusing, it's parts reuse. You're reusing, parts of the buck. And that makes sense. I'm pretty sure his legs, his lower legs, are Storm Shadow's legs. Like this. Yeah, they're the same. That's Storm Shadow's leg, entirely Storm Shadow's leg, including the lower leg and everything. So, there's not many new parts going on with Mr. Badducci here. That being said, his web gear is all new. The deco is new, and like I said, it looks really, really good. It's a new head sculpt, and he's got these shoulder pads, I guess, are softer plastic. So when you bend the arm up, they kind of bend out of the way. And he's got a new sort of gauntlet on the forearm. It's a great looking figure. I don't have any issue with parts reuse. I mean, I barely have any issue with like straight up repaints. So I'm maybe the wrong guy to ask. I guess that's the long-winded answer, but I'm probably the wrong guy to ask because I want all of it. Allison Troy's hanging out. What's going on, Allison? Star is how long? It's so when you say Chuck, I think of Chuckles. So I keep seeing Chuck and thinking you're talking about Chuckles. How long has Chuck been around? Is he a newer recruit? I mean, since the 80s, he's been around. So it's not a new character. Kamakura, on the other hand, is like a 2000s character. So he's technically much newer. Nunchuk's been around. The vintage Nunchuk was like in the original Ninja Force, which I want to say was like the end of the 80s. I don't know 100%. Somebody can look up Ninja Force and tell me what year it's from, but I keep getting turtle vibes with the color and the nunchucks. Yeah, a little bit. I can see that. I can see that. Stygian 360, which that looks like Neil's avatar, but I don't know if that's still Neil. Where's my rooted hair Scarlet? I would love for there to be a rooted hair Scarlet with a fabric belt as well. I don't think we're gonna get it. I think we could get the Ninja Force Scarlet. I don't think we're gonna get rooted hair, but Tyler says, actually, now that I see it more, this guy was released because we are getting Storm Shadow version 2, so makes sense. Hasbro released it. Did they wait? Is it confirmed that we're getting Storm Shadow version 2? Have they said that? Am I just not paying attention? Or do we just, is that leak, rumor? I can't remember. I really want Storm Shadow version 2, but I don't do a good enough job of keeping track. I just wait till the pre-orders come up and hope that it's cool shit. This looks like DC's Captain Cold. I don't know who Captain Cold is, so I'll take your word for it. Luc Poulin, my biggest concern is that he will cut all his legs off with that kind of sheath. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow didn't teach him very well. His two mentors use good sheaths. That is a very, very good point. There's a lot of exposed blade. There's a lot of exposed blade there. Geez, I don't know. And what's he going to do with these hooks too? I feel like they'd be a little bit of a liability as well, but I don't know. We'll see. Hope for the best, I guess. Who is the toughest, most skilled fighter between these guys? My money's on Snake Eyes. It's Snake Eyes. It's Snake Eyes. Jeremy Kimberlin coming through. Ninja Force was 91 or 92. Nunchuk version 1 was 1992. So there you go. He's been around for a long time. He's been around for 30 years. So he's not new. Like, it's not it's not, Kamakura, like I said, is much newer. Shadow Tracker, which we're going to get from Walmart, it is much newer as well. So they're doing a little bit of everything, and I like that. I'm here for it. I like that. If you're only up to 86, you're going to get what you like. If you're only up to 94, you're going to get what you like. If you want all of it, you're going to get what you like. So the Storm Shadow I got is wearing a hood. Is that the version 2? There is okay, I'll try to be concise. When people say Storm Shadow version 2, they're typically referring to the vintage Storm Shadow version 2, which does have a hood. However, this was the first version of Storm Shadow in the classified line. It has a hood. The second version of Storm Shadow, which is more of a vintage version 1 inspired Storm Shadow, also came with a hood. The retro carded Storm Shadow is almost an identical vintage version 1, and I think that came with a hood too, even though the version 1 vintage didn't come with a hood. Hope that answers your question. Tyler said vintage Storm Shadow version 2 and classified. No, they didn't, but given Nunchuk is out, they don't have to do much. to him to give us Storm Shadow version 2. Yeah, I mean, like, but like what we've seen so far with other figures, yeah, I mean, like the arm I would want the arm to be different. I would want like that 3/4 sleeve. Like I said, we've got the hooks, we've seen the bow, we've seen kind of most of the accessories that Storm Shadow version 2 comes with. We've seen a hood too, right? So I think you could just use some of the stuff that we've got already in there, right? As far as like the masked head with the hood. And it would be really cool if that version 2 came. um so I have them here again. I'll pull them down just sort of for reference, right? Because we have, oh shoot, I just knocked him over with Storm Shadow sword. We have the compound bow, which you could just straight up reuse that compound bow. I would be okay if they just reused this head. And then this is the like hood down, but we got the full hood as well. I'm just gonna put him off to the side. I'm not gonna bother putting him back up on the shelf. So yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think like the vintage version. No. Okay, these guys are gonna stand in here. so they're not competing for standing space with Mr. Badducci. No, but then he just blends in, doesn't he? Okay, that's better. That'll work. Yeah, I think version 2 is a lock. Yeah, why wouldn't it be? Jeremy Kimberlin says version 2 to me is 1988 with exposed clan tattoo. Yes, exactly. That's I agree. Version 2 is that version to me as well. Although, to be honest, in my heart, that is version 1. I want that Storm Shadow more than any other Storm Shadow. Because that was the one that I had growing up. That was the Storm Shadow figure that I had as a kid. That's the Storm Shadow figure that I played with for days on end. Storm Shadow versus Snake Eyes all day, every day. And I can't wait to get that one. And I can't wait to get version 4 of Snake Eyes. If you know which version of Snake Eyes is version 4, you know what I'm talking about. Just for reference, Snake Eyes version 5 was the Ninja Force Snake Eyes. Jeremy says 1,000% my favorite is version 2. There are a lot of us, which makes me think that there's no way they're not going to do that version 2. But yeah. All right, that is it. That's all I had for tonight. 45 minutes is probably longer than I intended to go for one figure. Usually I go 45 to an hour for 2. But it was fun to talk about Ninja Force. It was fun to talk about Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, all the other ninjas. Like I said, I'm here for all the ninjas, and I can't wait till we get, a full Ninja Force, like full neon. I would love if they did the accessories on a tree like they used to do with some of those later 90s figures. Xander has joined the chat. What's going on, Xander? Good to have you. Nice to meet you too. 45 minutes is a solid sesh. It is. Star says it got me hooked. They're fun figures. So, Star, I only do these videos because I love these toys. And I've said that before, like I'm not unboxing toys just because they exist. I'm not unboxing toys that I don't love. And so I'm having fun making videos. Jeremy, all the neon, all the bright ass weapon sprues. Yes, that is what I want. More Nerf guns, more neon swords, more absurd. I want I want Star Brigade as well. Like I want, what was I think the last GI Joe that I bought was one of those Star Brigades. What's it called? Robo Joe or something like that. Like, I want that so badly. I want them to just go all in on all the aspects of GI Joe that I loved as a kid. So I get it. I get that not everybody wants the neon. I get that not everybody wants the Nerf stuff. There's people that, we've grown up. So some of our tastes have grown up. Some of our tastes haven't grown up. So I'm glad that they're allowing some of us to sort of indulge our childhood fantasies of having just amazing versions of figures that we had as kids. All right. So it's been an absolute pleasure. As I always say, it's more fun to open toys with friends. So thank you guys for hanging out and joining me tonight. Like I said, stay tuned for more unboxing videos. Some will be live, some will be pre-recorded, but hopefully you will enjoy all of them. And like I said, I'm just having fun. Star, I'm having fun, chatting with you as somebody that's like not a big Joe person. Like, it's refreshing because most of the Joe people that I talk to are already like huge fans of GI Joe. And it's cool to be able to sort of share GI Joe and AWOC, with people that haven't grown up with these things, or haven't sort of had effectively 40 years of headcanon that they're sort of using as they're playing with their toys. Xander says, did you play Pac-Man the video game? I'm less of a Pac-Man fan than I am a Ms. Pac-Man fan, but I do love Ms. Pac-Man. Silver K is new to GI Joe as well. Well, happy to have you along for the ride. She also mentions, see you Friday. Absolutely. We're going to be doing some not GI Joe. We're going to be talking about the last episode of Ahsoka, as well as a series wrap up over on Geek the F Out channel. So go check that out. I will definitely be posting a link on the Facebook page, the Instagram page, and anywhere else I can think of. Maybe I'll make posters up, put them around the city that I live in. Probably not. I don't think I'm going to do that. Anyways, yeah, hopefully see you guys on Friday. But that's all I got for tonight. It was a pleasure. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being in the chat. It's always fun to have you guys commenting, asking questions. It's, like I said, I sat down to kind of do a 20-minute or half an hour video. 50 minutes later, we're wrapping it up. All right, I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.